This is the fourth video of the play. So in this particular video I will be explaining you JSX components, 1B data binding, virtual DOM, other things. So without wasting any more time, let's understand this. Okay, so very first thing, what are the JSX? Okay, so you can see this written part, right? This complete written part is nothing but a JSX. So little you guys need to understand more about it. So when you're talking about JSX, okay, so when you're talking about JavaScript XML, it's nothing but an extended version of XML which we are using in this React. Okay, might you are not feeling very much confident, what is this JSX, and I'm not sure what is this code, even though I don't understand what is div and header, and you are just telling me about JSX full form. I want to understand completely. If I'm writing something, how should I get to know like this is JSX exactly? So JSX having one single rule, like whenever you are writing something, it should wrap inside a parent, meaning that wherever you are writing something, right, write anything. Okay, but at the very end of the story you have to wrap into fragment or a div, or you can call it like parent, any parent component. Got it? No, right? Let me explain you. Let me delete everything from here. This is the div, right? And let me delete everything, div and div. Okay, let's consider this div is a parent parent element. Okay, parent element, so it should wrap inside the parent element, any parent element. You can call it like paragraph tag or any header tag or any other tag like fragment also. Okay, so let's consider this is the parent element for now. So when you come here, you can see, right, no error. Okay, now you are writing something, this many things, right? See, when you so you can see, right, we have this text, right? Okay, so let me do some changes over here. Okay, this is the div. Now I want to repeat this div here. Okay, or let me do some changes in the text. When I'm saving this file, you can see some error, right? Over on this you can see something, JSX expression must have one parent element. Okay, I already explained this, right? When you see for a quick fix, you can see what wrap in JSX fragment. See, it automatically wrapping into a fragment, right? Now if you will save the file, there is no error now, and you can see this text in the next line. Got that? Okay, now next thing. Now let's say inside the div, after text you are writing something. What will happen when you save the file? Nothing. It will work. See, it is working. So at the very end of the story, there is one single standard Brahmastra rule, is nothing but you should wrap whatever you are writing, you should wrap inside some parent element. It can be anything, it can be fragment, it can be div, it can be anything. Let me give you example also. If you will make it div, fragment to div, it will work. It will not show you any error here. Okay, you can see after refreshing even you can see no error. Okay, there is no error. So this is nothing but a JSX part. I will not explain you more about JSX. You will understand more about JSX in later part of time, but let me just give you one more thing for a sake of interest. Okay, let's say we have let me delete this div. So we have now two div, right? One is this, another one is this. Okay, and you want to render this first div on some condition, or you want to render this div on some condition. Okay, so let's say we have some condition called const what we can call it, some state. For now we are just calling it a state only, and we are making it false. Okay, so we have a state called false, right? Now if we want to make some condition inside a JSX, it is very simple. You can just open the curly braces. Okay, just make a state question mark. It is the ternary operator I'm going to use. So just cut this. After this, if it is true, we have to render this div, otherwise div, right? This div. So just make a ternary operator and simply write like this. Okay, now you can see we have the state is false. Now state is, if the state is false, it will render this one, not this one, right? So you can see it. But if I'll make changes here, I'll make it true, what will happen? This is rendering this one, meaning that the very first one. Okay, sorry, don't mind this text, whatever I'm writing, I'm just a random text. Okay, so now you are good to go, you are good to start something at least, right? So I just give you a, not a brief but a very small thing to just shake off interest. I am just giving you few information only. Okay, I'm not explaining you how to make a if condition, else condition. If you don't want to use this ternary operator, or if you want to use some some button, and you want to how we can get to know like this function is calling, how we can create a function, how we can hold the state, how we can make the API call. These all things we will understand slowly, not in a single video. I'm going to explain everything here. Okay, so we should wait some time, watch my each and every video one by one. You will understand everything properly, because in this particular playlist I'm going to explain you everything. This is the 4th video only, right? Just watch my whole playlist. You will become a pro in this React.js. Okay, so after JSX, what we have to understand? We have to understand components. What are the components? When you are seeing this app.js, what is this file? This is nothing but a component. Okay, let me create one component for you. Let's say child.ts. Okay, let me create some functional component for now. rf. Okay, this is the child component, right? Something else is there, cannot find the name div. Okay, so we have this ts file, right? We are working on the js file actually for now. Definitely I will be explaining you TypeScript also, but for now we are just working on the JavaScript files, not the TypeScript. So just to rename the file, how we can rename the file? Okay, rename. Okay, for now I'm just keeping it with js, that's all. Okay, we don't need to even write inside like this. Sorry, my bad. Okay, this child, and you can also write some small component name here. It is not the issue. So we are talking about some component, right? So if you want to use that component, just type like this, and when you will use this child component, so let me import it also. You have to import like this from child. Okay, now I'm just going to give you one basic thing. Okay, you are using this child component, right? You can see this child and child, right? You cannot use like this with a small starting character. You have to use some C capital, then only it will work like this. C. Okay, this is a very basic thing, you have to understand it. So what you have to do, you have to create a .js file, meaning that you have to create a component. Okay, with this a basic code. You can write function or class based component, whatever, but I will be explaining you in much better way these functional component, class based component. For now you can create any component. Okay, for this particular video. So I have created this child component, and I am going to use the child component to my app.js, that is parent component. Okay, with when you're importing it, you have to start with the capital character, whatever it is. You have to start with capital character, then only you can utilize as a component. Okay, inside another component, whatever. Okay, and try to keep the name also with capital letter only if you can. Let's see. Okay, it will not give you any warning then in that case. Okay, so you can see we got this child. Okay, so it's very simple. You can create some component and you can use it, and wherever I want to use this child component, I can use that simply by just importing it and using it. We don't need to do such changes in child component for let's say if you want to use at 3 places. You don't need to write this code, right? Maybe might be in future it will be a very big code. Okay, you don't even write this big code everywhere. You can just import and you can use it. This is reusability of component, right, that you have available in React.js. Now we are going to understand virtual DOM. So virtual DOM is nothing but an object. Okay, and when you're talking about object, we have something called key and value pair, right? like this. Simply if you will write the object, meaning that this nothing but this name, let's say muo sigma classes, right? This is nothing but an object. Okay, this is nothing but an object. So when you're talking about virtual DOM, it is not the real DOM. Again, I'm telling you, it's not a real DOM. We are representing original DOM in virtual DOM. Okay, so representing मतलब ये नहीं होता कि you are working on real DOM. Okay, because real DOM occupies more space and big memory over there in the CPU. That's the reason it works slow. But virtual DOM containing only few amount of storage. That's the reason it is very fast. So it looks like one-way data binding, but whenever you modify anything in the web application, okay, anything, if you are modifying it, it will automatically refresh. It will automatically re-render in a virtual DOM representation. So if you're thinking it's a one-way data binding, it is, but it's not one-way binding kind of. Okay, because when you are writing anything and anything, if you're writing it, it will auto refresh, auto re-render the thing, right? So it looks like one-way data binding, but it's not. Okay, so it works like a one-way data binding. Also whenever you are writing anything, whenever you are modifying anything into the web application code, the entire UI will be re-rendered in a virtual DOM representation. So basically it will check the difference between the previous DOM and the new DOM which you have changed it, meaning that when you are writing it, anything, if you're writing it will basically store into the object. It's nothing but a virtual DOM, virtual object. You're writing something, meaning that it will basically compare with the older DOM. Okay, if older DOM and the newer DOM, it is not matching, right? In that case, it will re-render the things. It will re-render that component. Okay, it's very simple. And when you will ask me like how this is differing with real DOM, so the real DOM will only update when the things that have actually changed. Okay, it's not like it is comparing it. When it is actually changing, then only it is updating it. So in the case of virtual DOM, it is very much faster as compared to the real DOM, and there is no wastage of memory, as I said already. So this is all about the virtual DOM, and right, we have JSX, we have virtual DOM. It is too faster to manage, and if it is very efficient, you can reuse the code in the React.js. So, and the component based approach, which basically makes the code reusable at your as you're needed, right? So this make it is very simple to use, learn, and maintain, okay, any big scale of application. So now you know what are the features of React.js and why to use React.js. Slowly when you will implement by yourself React.js code, then you will understand it, what are more other features of React.js, because those features you will understand when you will implement the code. So this is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and in the next video I'll be explaining you complete things for JSX, okay, JavaScript is standard XML version. Okay, so till then, bye bye and subscribe the channel. Thank you.